Hello, 6th grade. This is Mrs. Froman, and you're going to be taking notes on section 1-3 from your environmental science book, and it's about natural selection. Natural selection is the process in which organisms become better adapted to survive. So this happens over a period of time. It doesn't happen in one generation. So the way this happens is they get something called adaptations, and those are behaviors and physical characteristics that allow organisms to live successfully in their environment. So what that just means is they are adapted, or they have adaptations, like they have the right beak type to eat the type of food that they eat. They have the right length of legs. They have fur if it's cold, things like that. So here's some examples of just beak adaptations. We have this guy here eats insects for food. So he's got a curved beak to catch the insects. This bird eats nectar, so it needs a really long beak, like a hummingbird, to get the nectar from the inside of the flower. This bird eats seeds, so you need to see it's got a little point on the bottom of its beak, so it can crack those seeds open. And this bird eats fruit, so it's kind of just a dull beak to just eat fruit, because that's a little softer than the seeds are. Here's a couple of examples of different types of natural selection. As humans, we have forced natural selection just by breeding. So for example, dogs, we start out with dogs with medium length hair, and there happens to be mutations, and we end up with some with short hair, some with long hair, and some with medium. And if people like the long haired dogs, we breed those, and we end up with a lot more long haired dogs. And that's how we got the different types of breeds of dogs. In nature, natural selection works like, if these crows like to eat green beetles, and there's some orange beetles in the population, the green beetles are going to start to get eaten, and over time there's going to be more and more orange beetles because there's not as many green beetles left to reproduce, and pretty soon you're going to end up with just orange beetles because all the green beetles will have been eaten and not able to reproduce. A niche is an organism's role in an ecosystem. It's its type of food, how it gets that food, where its predators are, what its predators are. It's kind of like its job in the ecosystem. Everything is connected in an ecosystem, and they each have their own little jobs. When they're competing for the same thing, that's called competition. That's the struggle between organisms for limited resources in the habitat. So here we see two young bald eagles kind of fighting here, and they would be eating the same food, so that's why they have certain territories, so they want to spread out so they have enough food for everybody. Here's an example of how having those different niches helps. This guy up in the tree right here is a kingfisher, and he eats fish. This down here, this guy along the edge, is a heron, and he also eats fish. They're eating the same thing, but they reduce competition by fishing in different niches. So the kingfisher likes to fish out where it's deeper and gets fish way out here, where the heron fishes, it's got the long legs, so it wades along the shore and eats the fish along the shore. So by having different niches, it reduces that competition. Predation is when one organism kills and eats another organism. So the predator is the one that kills. It has adaptations that help them, whether it's sharp teeth, claws, speed, good eyesight. And then there's a prey, and that's the one that gets killed. But they also have defense adaptations. They could have speed, agility, like be able to, like rabbits, zip back and forth when they're running away from prey. They could be like a porcupine, have quills, or a skunk that has the odor. Could be like a turtle, just pulls themselves in, so it makes it harder for the predator to get them. So here we see a snake eating a frog. So predator-prey populations are related. So what that means is, if there's a prey population, and all of a sudden, let's just say there's rabbits, and the wolves come in and start eating the rabbits, when that prey population starts to go down, then the wolves don't have as much food, so their population starts to go down. As their population goes down, now there's less wolves eating the rabbit population starts to go up, and as that population goes up, the wolf population goes up, As that happens, they're eating more rabbits, so the rabbit population starts to go down again. And then the wolves don't have as much food, so their population goes down. So it's back and forth, back and forth. They kind of shadow each other. All right, now we're to our symbiosis. So symbiosis is a general term which just means a relationship between two species that benefits at least one of those species. Now there's 3 different types of symbiosis. There's mutualism, and that's a symbiosis where both species benefit. So mutual means both. Commensalism is a symbiosis where one species benefits and the other is not helped or harmed. So that would be like a bird building a nest in a tree. So the bird is helped because it has a place to build its nest. The tree's not helped or hurt because the nest doesn't hurt the tree. And then we have parasitism, and that's a symbiosis where the parasite benefits and the host is harmed. So we have a picture right here of parasitism. This is a parasitic wasp that laid eggs on a caterpillar, and when those eggs hatch, it will actually eat that caterpillar alive. So obviously that's harming the host, but it's benefiting the wasp larvae because they're going to get food and be able to grow up. Commensalism, here's like an oxen, and we've got a little cattle egret here. The cattle egret follow the oxen when they walk through the grass because that stirs up the bugs, and then the bird gets to eat the bugs. So that's, the oxen isn't helped or harmed, but the bird is helped by getting food. And then we have our clownfish and the sea anemone, and that's a mutualistic relationship because the sea anemone provides cover and protection for the fish, and the fish helps the sea anemone by getting algae and things off of it that might grow on it. And that's it for our notes. So don't forget to do your quack, and we'll see you in class. Bye.